Guys, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a current subscriber, and for anybody that's a newbie, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to take one of these little heart boxes that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to alter it a bit and make it really, really pretty. I've got two of them here. I'm going to be doing one of them. One I have in blue embellishments, and the other is in pink embellishments here, and I think this is the one I'm going to do today. And I may end up doing this one on camera at another time, but it would take too long to do two of them, I think, in one video. So I'm just going to put this one, the blue one, aside, and we're going to work on this pink one. And what I have here, I've got some extra embellishments over to the side here, because y'all know, if you've been watching my videos, that I tend to change my mind sometimes. I've got some of these little flat back pearls. I've got some trim that I'm going to be using on it. This is going on there for sure. And just some little bits and pieces of lace and flowers. I've got one of my little appliques that I've made that I'm going to be using on this. And then some other trim and flowers and some bling bling and a little teeny strand of pearls. So these are the embellishments that I chose. Oh, and of course, this little tiny pretty bird that I already embellished the bird, but I'm going to be using her on this one too. I do enjoy using birds in some of my projects. I love birds. I love to look at them from afar. I have a fear of birds. I have an unhealthy fear of birds, I think. But if I happen to see little flappy birds come too close to me, I get a little nervous. A funny story, me and my husband went to Hawaii for our honeymoon many, many moons ago. And we were in our room, and a bird happened to fly into the room, and I panicked and ran into the bathroom. I told my husband I wasn't coming out until he got the bird out of the room because I was so panicked. And it was just mainly that it was flapping around and flying around in the room, because you know how it is in Hawaii if you've ever been there. The birds just kind of roam free, which is fine. I'm fine with that if I'm outdoors and, you know, they're running around and all that good stuff. And they hop around in restaurants and all that, because everything's opened up in Hawaii. But it freaked me out a lot. And I'm actually more okay with bigger birds than I am little birds. So anyway, this box was originally this brown color. I did spray paint it on the outside with my Rust-Oleum ×2 paint and primer. I just used white, and it's a flat paint, just so that you know what kind of spray paint I use to paint my pieces. I use it on everything. Once in a while I will hand paint items, but lately I just tend to prefer to go with the spray paint. It's quicker, it's easier, I can do it outside, and it just works out good for me. I have a little bit of stickles here. My stickles is pretty much empty, so I don't even know if I'll be able to get anything out of this to put on this project. I'm going to set it upside down over here to the side, and if I choose to use it, hopefully I can get something out of it. I won't use much of it anyway. So anyway, I have some of my little inspirational words here that are on fabric. I cut these out of a piece of fabric I had a long time ago, and it just had little inspirational words on it. So I've got those here kind of put aside in case I want to put something like that on this. And I'm just going to kind of put my embellishments off to the side here. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. Gently push those to the side. I just took this out at the last minute because I thought this might be pretty to use on it. And I've had it forever. Somebody sent this to me in a Happy Mail package. And I just came across it the other day and I thought, wouldn't that be pretty on one of my heart boxes? So I may use this, I may not. I haven't decided yet. But that's kind of one of the maybe bits. So anyway, what I'm going to start with on this today is mostly what we're going to be embellishing is the top. Excuse me, my dogs are barking again. No, 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 no barking. Thank you. It seems like every time I go to make a video, my dogs decide to bark at someone. And it's probably the mail lady. That would be my first guess. So I'm going to put this lid on the top because the first thing I'm going to put on is this trim. Hopefully I did that right. It's got a bit of it that doesn't have a bottom, but I measured it without that. I'm just going to cut this edge piece off. And I'm just going to take it and go around underneath the lid. I'm going to start putting this on. I'm using my glue gun and my got a toothpick stuck to it. This glue gun has seen way better days, but it still works, and so I just keep on using it. Poor thing, it sits here some days and it's on all day long, and I don't turn it off till the evening. And it still keeps working. I've had it for years and years. My luck, I'd get a new one and it wouldn't work very long. So I'm leaving the lid on this because I want to make sure I get this in the right place. So I'm just going to start placing my hot glue sort of underneath the lid here. And I'll start adding this to the box. Just like that. And I'm just going to go around it, trying not to touch the lid so I don't glue the lid on, because that would be kind of a disaster. Just kind of pressing it down so that it stays. I'm sorry if it looks like my hands might be a little shaky. Sometimes they do get that way. Oh gosh, I've got this all twisted now. There we go. I love these little hearts that they sell at the Dollar Tree. They're fun to embellish and make pretty. So anything that's got a heart, I tend to gravitate towards it. Whoops. So these are one of those things that they almost always have. So you can go over to the Dollar Tree and pick these up. Of course, nothing's just $1 anymore, even at the Dollar Tree now. I think they're $1.25, which is fine. That's not so bad. And I'm going to ask you to excuse me for just 1 second. I'm uploading a video to my computer and I'm talking on that, and I don't want it to be in the background. So that's done. It's not uploading to YouTube, it's just uploading to my computer. I just finished editing another video. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. And it fits perfectly on this box. It may hang down just slightly below the bottom of the box, but that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. And then on this one, I'm gonna test this and see if I like it. I don't know if I want to use that or if I want to use this. And then I also have some, this is some trim that I got from Kiki's sale, and actually I think this is what I'm going to use on this piece. It was the original thing that I chose. The other thing that I have is I have this pearl and rhinestone chain. And I intend to use both of these on this box, but I wasn't sure how I want to do this. I was actually thinking I might take this, oh, you know what? I'm going to use this down at the bottom, and I think I'm going to use this around the top of the box here, because I think this would be really pretty on the box. So I'm just going to cut this tip off. I'm going to do the top first, and then I'll do that next. And first I'm just going to put a little dot of glue there so I can get this started. My phone's going crazy today. It wasn't making any noise before, and now that I started doing a video, it's going to keep going off. And this I can guide real easily around the edge of the heart. So that's why I decided I'd like to kind of put this on top. Not to mention, I think it looks pretty. It'll kind of give it that little... Sometimes I like when my pieces turn out looking like a cake. So not only are they pretty, they look delicious too. I'm a weirdo, I know. I get that comment a lot when I do some of my projects. They'll go, oh, it looks like a cake, I want to eat it. But when you're doing the whites and the pinks and sort of the shabby chic stuff, that's kind of what it ends up turning out to look like a lot of times. I say that about some other people's projects as well. It's like, oh, that looks yummy. So I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm having a good day. Had to go to the post office this morning because I had a bunch of packages to mail out, which is a good thing, from my Etsy store, my Etsy shoppers. I want to thank all of you who've been checking out my Etsy store and making purchases. It's been so helpful to me while I'm not working to be able to keep doing videos and stay afloat here in the household. I mean, it's not enough to make a living for sure, but it helps. Every little bit helps, and I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for patroning my shop. Okay, so we've got that over the top, and then I'm going to take this pearl and rhinestone bit, and I think I'm going to use a little bit of E6000 and hot glue on this because it does have a slick back. And so I'm gonna go with a little bit of both. First I'm gonna start it, whoops, I almost started it in the wrong spot. I'm gonna take this lid off now because I know where I'm working from. And this way you guys can kind of see better what I'm doing. I'm just going to put a dot of hot glue there and start this in the center of the heart. And then I'm going to take one of my handy dandy toothpicks. Always keep toothpicks handy when you're crafting like this because you're going to need them if you're using E6000 especially. And I think what I'm going to do is every so often I'm going to put a dot of hot glue and then, sorry, I put the toothpick in my mouth, and then the rest of it will be glued on with E6000. That way I can be assured that it's going to stay on once the E6000 cures. I won't have to worry about it. And I'm just going along the edge of this trim. And another dot of hot glue. And back to the E6000. So I'm just kind of going back and forth here between the two, but when I use the hot glue, I'm just using a little dot of it. And that way I know in that spot at least it's going to stay. While I'm working on the piece anyway. Well, it should stay forever. Using E6000, it really, really, really is great for keeping things tacked down. Okay, and where did I put my, I don't think that's the same toothpick I had, but it'll do. I've got so many toothpicks laying around at my work area here. There's always going to be one handy that I can grab, except that most of them are probably glued down to a paper plate somewhere. I use a paper plate to keep my glue gun on. And I also use it to squeeze out my E6000. And a little hot glue. And I think I squeezed out exactly the right amount of E6000. I never do that. Put a little dot of hot glue at the very end here. And take my nippers. Oh, this is string. The nippers don't work so well with string. Let me just dot this with hot glue again. And there we go. I've got that trim around the whole edge of this fringed trim. There we go. That looks pretty. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do, I noticed this box has a little tweak in it, but it's not bad. It's not torn or anything. It just got bent a little bit, so I'm trying to make sure it has the right shape in it. Anyway, okay, so now I'm going to take and set that aside for a few minutes, and that'll give that E6000 a little bit of time to work itself in, and then I'm going to start embellishing the top of this. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little piece of this lace down, just sort of right there. And I'm just going to glue a few of these spots down that are sort of sticking out over the edge. Just putting little dots of the hot glue on there because I don't want it to, a bunch of it to ooze out or anything. Okay, so we've got that little piece of lace over the top. And let me see how I want this to go. The one thing I am going to sort of hide on this applique, in fact, I think I'm just going to cut it off, is this bit of purple lace that I put on it, because I'm not actually putting any purple in this piece. So, and this little applique has one of my little love charms on it. So I'm going to put that there, and I think, or maybe, okay, let me see here. Okay, that's the direction I need to go with that. I'm going to put that down there, and the other flower up towards the top here. I think that looks really pretty. So the first thing I'm going to glue down is my flower, and this is just one of the flowers I got from that ribbon that I bought at Hobby Lobby. You'll see me use these in a lot of videos, and then I just added a little mulberry flower to the center of it there, just to kind of give it a little pop of color. I didn't want to go very strong with the color though, because I wanted it to be more, I kind of wanted more pale pinks. And I think I'm going to let the flower float over the top of this. Actually, I want the love to show, so I'm going to turn that off to the side so that it kind of hangs over a little bit. I'm just going to put a good amount of glue on this. Make sure I have it in the right direction. And I'm going to pop that right there. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And I'm going to add some more flowers to this. I have these real pale, kind of basic flowers here that were sent to me in another Happy Mail package. And I'm gonna place some of these around in here just to kind of add that pale bit of flowers. They look really pretty once you put them on a project. They don't look like much just to look at them, but they're little silk flowers. I don't know where they came from because, again, these were sent to me in a Happy Mail package. So I'm just going to place a couple of these around in a couple of spots, and I'm going to take this one and put it, where was I going to put that? I think I'll put that one off to the side here. Okay, and I want to use this big flower here. I think I'm going to put this off to this side here. And I got this flower from Kiki's sale. Debbie almost always has these flowers available in her store. So that's what it looks like. It's a bigger paper flower, but I really love them. They're generally a little bit more pink than this one. I actually sprayed this with white paint just to take out some of the pink, because I wanted more white than pink in it, but you can still see the pink coming through it. And then I think I'm going to use a couple of these little mulberry flowers, and they're sort of half pink and half white. Super pretty. I love using these in my projects. So I'm going to place a couple of these around. Just going to use 2 of them. I already have one in there. I don't know if it's the same one. I think that one might be a little different. And I'm going to put that one right there. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue underneath it and pop it down. Okay, so that's what the lid looks like so far. Super pretty. And then next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put those aside. And I think I'm going to put, I'm not going to use this whole piece of pearls. I'm going to use just a small portion of it, because I'm just going to have these sort of poking out somewhere. I just have to figure out where I want to put them. I think I'm going to put them towards the top here. Sort of like that. Yeah. So I'm just going to pop some glue in this little hole that I have here. A nice big dollop, because I'm going to pop both of these ends in there at the same time. And then I think I'm going to put one of these flowers right in there. There we go. That looks really pretty. And then I have this piece of bling here. I'm going to cut off the little bits in the middle here that are supposed to clamp down, but I don't want those. Oh, you know what? This piece of bling might be bigger than I want to use. Unless I can stuff it in somewhere. You know what? I'm not even going to use that. I don't like it. So, because the one thing that I do want to make sure I use is my little bird here. And the bird has to have a nice little place to set. Just have to figure out where I want her to go. And she's going to go right there in that little spot. So I'm just going to put a good dollop of glue in the underbelly here of the bird. And I'm going to pop her in right there. So that's where she's going to stay. And then I'm going to take some of these little pink pearls and I'm going to go around the edge of this, the top of this heart. So I'm just going to, these have an adhesive on the back of them. And I'm going to use that, and I'm also going to use my hot glue to put these on. I'm just going to put a little dot of hot glue here. And get this started. And I want to work relatively quickly to do this. Okay, now I can kind of go around the edge here. I love working with these little flat back pearls because they're easy to work with and they really are pretty and they're not expensive. You can usually pick these up at the Dollar Tree sometimes. I did not get these at the Dollar Tree. I got these at another little store that I shop at locally here, but they're the same ones that you can get at the Dollar Tree. Maybe not the same brand, but the same kind of pearls. So I just tend to be at my other store more often than the Dollar Tree, so I picked them up there actually a very long time ago. They've been sitting in a box for a long, long time. You guys will hear me say with a lot of my stuff, I buy it. I don't necessarily have a project in mind when I buy it, so it tends to sit and then I forget that I have it. And one day I'll come across it and then I'll come up with a project that I want to do using those items. And I hope I'm staying on camera with this, you guys. Gosh, I so wish you could yell at me when I'm doing these videos, because I always worry that I'm not staying on camera. And I know sometimes I get off, and I'm so sorry about that, but it happens. I just get so involved in what I'm doing, I don't realize it until I look up and I go, uh-oh. I don't think they saw that portion. Get this started here. Maybe I can do a decent sized line of glue there. Okay. I don't think this piece is going to make it quite to the end. I'm going to be a couple short. That's okay. I have more. Twisted it and it stuck to itself. Whoops. Okay, I have to tear this last one off. Got a little piece of glue on the edge there, so I want to make sure I get that off of there. And then I think I'm going to need about 3 more pearls. So I'm just going to tear 3 off of here. And heat up that glue that's already on there a little bit. Okay, I think I can cut this last one off. I only needed 2. There we go. So now I've got those little pearls along the edge. And I think that is actually going to do it for this box, you guys. I did it in 30 minutes, not too shabby. So there we go. We have a finished box and it looks gorgeous. There's all the sides. And that was a really, really fun project to do. Very quick. Didn't take me too long. Let me hold her up there a little bit closer. Of course, she's kind of in the dark. Let me turn my light around. There we go. So there's the top, and there's the sides. And it looks really, really pretty, y'all. She's gonna be in my Etsy store. I'll be putting her in there this afternoon after I get some photos taken. Actually, it'll probably be before you actually see this video. I appreciate all of you watching my video today, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to be putting up a lot more videos. I've got some other ideas of things that I want to do. I'm thinking I might actually do a video on this other heart, just because I think it's going to be a nice, pretty project. And I'll kind of decide if I'm going to do that on camera or not. But this one really turned out pretty. I'm really happy with it. And again, thank you all for watching. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button down below. And make sure you go on over and visit Kiki's sale, because I got a lot of these items, a lot of these flowers and things, and bling and other items that she sells. I know she's going to have some really pretty pearl and rhinestone chain. It's not going to be this same pearl and rhinestone, but it's super pretty. It's my favorite. She's going to be having that available pretty soon, I think. She mentioned that she was going to be ordering some. So if you get over there and you join the group and you're able to get in, that's something that's going to be coming up. And it's super duper pretty, and she gets it's like pink pearls and rhinestones, and it's I think it's like a 2mm chain. Super pretty, you guys. I love using it. It's my new favorite, and I can't wait till it comes in, because I plan on getting some myself and using it in some of my projects. Everybody, I hope you will all be blessed and take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. And again, thank you for blessing me and my family by subscribing to my channel and by shopping in our Etsy store. We do greatly appreciate it, and it's really helping us out. So we'll see you all soon, everybody. Take care, have a great day, and God bless. Bye-bye.